Hello, and welcome to the MyBFF Business Leaders Podcast, your new secret weapon for business success. Sponsored by MyBFF Social Media, Marketing, and Advertising. Make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get started.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the 2025 digital marketing landscape.
Exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff, and you know you're probably listening to this because you want to understand the best ways to make your brand stand out.
Of course.
Attract those leads.
Yeah.
And we've got a whole stack of articles and research here. And
They do.
the big takeaway is that paid search and social media are absolutely crushing it
Crushing it.
compared to those old school display ads.
It's interesting how the game has changed. You know, if you were a business owner 5 years ago, display ads might have been your go-to for brand building, but now not so much.
So what happened to display ads? I feel like I still see them everywhere.
You do, and there's a reason for that. Display ads still have their place, especially for retargeting, remind someone about that awesome pair of shoes they left in their cart.
Right.
But the research is pretty clear. Click-through rates on display ads are just abysmal.
Really?
We're talking less than 1%.
Less than 1%. Wow, that's not great. No wonder they call it banner blindness.
Yeah.
People have basically learned to ignore them.
Exactly. It's like trying to shout over a roaring crowd. Your message just gets lost in the noise. But paid search and social media advertising, they're more like having a one-on-one conversation with your ideal customer.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. How do paid search and social media pull that off?
Well, it all comes down to intent and targeting. Let's start with paid search. Imagine you're on Google searching for, say, the best noise-canceling headphones because you're desperate for some peace. And Quiet, a company selling those headphones, can bid on that exact keyword.
So their ad pops up right when you need it most?
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Incredibly powerful. And it goes beyond just keywords. Think location demographics, even the time of day you're reaching people who are actively looking for what you offer at the precise moment they're ready to buy.
That makes so much sense. No wonder paid search is all about conversions, getting people to actually take action, not just passively scroll by.
Right. And then you've got social media advertising, which takes targeting to a whole new level. Think about all the data these platforms have on their users, demographics, interests, behaviors, purchase history. It's a goldmine for marketers.
It's a little creepy, right? Like, how do they know? I was just thinking about buying a new yoga mat.
That's the beauty and the slight eeriness of it all, but from a marketing perspective, it's game-changing. You can target people based on incredibly specific criteria, ensuring your message resonates with the right audience, and that's where brand preference comes in. You're not just blasting a generic message to the masses, you're crafting personalized experiences that foster genuine connections.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I can see how that would work.
Absolutely, and we're just getting started. Think about it this way. You wouldn't go fishing for marlin with a butterfly net, would you?
I mean, I wouldn't go fishing for anything with a butterfly net.
Exactly. And that's what display advertising often feels like, casting a wide net and hoping for the best with paid search and social media. You're using the right tools to target the specific fish you want.
So you're saying if I'm a small business owner trying to make my mark in a crowded market, I should ditch display ads altogether.
Not necessarily. Remember, display ads can still be effective for retargeting, keeping your brand in front of people who have already shown interest. But if you're looking to really enhance brand preference and build that loyal customer base, paid search and social media are where the magic happens.
Let's break that down a bit. What makes paid search and social so effective at building brand preference? Is it just the targeting?
Targeting is a huge part of it, but it's also about the creative possibilities and the way these platforms let you tell your brand story. With paid search. You can craft compelling ad copy that speaks directly to the user's search intent. And with social media, you have a whole arsenal of tools at your disposal. Video ads, stories, interactive polls, influencer partnerships. You can create content that's engaging, informative, and even entertaining.
That's so true. I've seen some really creative social media ads that have totally stuck with me. They weren't just selling a product. They were telling a story, showcasing their values and connecting with me on a personal level.
Exactly, and that's what builds brand preference. It's not just about getting someone to click on your ad. It's about creating a positive association with your brand, making them feel like they know you and trust you.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's about building those relationships over time. But let's be real. A lot of businesses are also focused on the here and now. They need those leads like yesterday, can paid search and social media deliver on that front.
Absolutely. One of the things that sets these strategies apart is their ability to generate high-quality leads that convert into paying customers. Remember, you're not just reaching anyone with these ads, you're reaching people who are already interested in what you have to offer. They're primed and ready to take action.
I can see how that would translate to a much higher conversion rate than, say, someone randomly clicking on a banner ad while browsing the web.
Exactly. And because you have so much control over your targeting and messaging, you can tailor your campaigns to specific customer segments. Want to attract eco-conscious shoppers? No problem. Need to reach busy professionals on the go? You got it. These platforms give you the power to be incredibly precise with your approach.
This is blowing my mind a little. So we've got brand preference, we've got lead generation. Is there anything else that makes paid search and social media stand out in 2025?
One word: measurability. Remember those dismal click-through rates we talked about with display ads? Well, with paid search and social media, you're not left guessing. You have access to a wealth of data that tells you exactly what's working and what's not.
So you can see which ads are getting clicks, which ones are leading to conversions, and you can adjust your strategy in real time.
Precisely. You can constantly tweak and optimize your campaigns to ensure you're getting the most bang for your buck. It's all about data-driven decision-making.
This all sounds incredible, but I have to ask, what about cost? Aren't these strategies super expensive?
That's a common misconception, actually. While the cost can vary depending on your industry, target audience, and overall strategy, paid search and social media can be surprisingly cost-effective, especially when you compare them to traditional advertising methods.
Yeah, how so?
With traditional advertising, you're often paying for broad reach. Whether those people are actually interested in your product or not, it's like throwing darts in the dark and hoping something sticks. But with paid search and social media, you're only paying when someone actually interacts with your ad click view conversion. You're paying for results, not just impressions.
So you're saying it's more targeted and more efficient with your budget?
Exactly. And because you have such granular control over your targeting and bidding strategies, you can really stretch your marketing dollars.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light.
Mm-hmm.
So while display ads might still have a place in a well-rounded marketing strategy, it seems like paid search and social media are the real powerhouses for building brand preference and generating leads in 2025.
I think that's a fair assessment. They're the dynamic duo of digital marketing, precise, measurable, and incredibly effective at connecting with your target audience on a personal level.
This has been so helpful. I'm sure our listeners are starting to see how these strategies can help them achieve their business goals. But before we wrap up, I have one more question. So if our listeners had to pick just one of these strategies right now, paid search or social media, what advice would you give them? Which one should they prioritize?
That's a great question. And there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on your specific goals and audience. If you're looking for immediate results and have a product or service that people are actively searching for right now, paid search is probably your best bet.
Makes sense. You're capturing those high-intent searches,
Right.
the people who are ready to buy.
Exactly. But if your goal is to build brand awareness and cultivate a loyal following over time, social media is an incredible tool. You can connect with your audience on a more personal level, share your brand story, and foster those long-term relationships.
So it's not an either situation. You could even start with one strategy and then incorporate the other as your business evolves.
Absolutely. And you might even find that certain platforms work better for you than others. Maybe your target audience hangs out on Instagram more than Facebook, or they're constantly searching for information on Google. It's all about experimenting, analyzing your data, and finding what resonates best.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. We've learned that display ads, while still useful for retargeting, are losing ground to the powerhouses of paid search and social media advertising. And it all comes down to those incredible targeting capabilities, the ability to craft personalized experiences, and the wealth of data that allows for constant optimization.
It's a whole new world of digital marketing, one that's driven by data creativity and the power of genuine human connection.
So to our listener out there who's ready to take their marketing to the next level, we encourage you to embrace these strategies and see what they can do for your business.
Remember, in the world of digital marketing, standing still is like moving backwards. So keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of knowledge and insights.